For those that have been on our website the past couple of days, you would have seen that there are quite a few boots up for pre-sale. So today we're going to run through each of them and hopefully find the boot that is best for you. So why the need for a pre-sale? Being in the footwear game is extremely capital intensive. So this gives us a good indication of where we're seeing sales traction. So for those that have supported the pre-sale already, we thank you very much. And now let's jump into each one of these boots. When we came out with our Numzaan boot, we did a bunch of content around it, which we'll put links to down below. But another thing you'll notice on our website is we now have Jim Green Premium and Jim Green Standard. So the premium boots have a little premium tag in the top corner of the picture. And the difference here is that it comes with a full leather midsole and in various other situations, a more premium upper. And this is a great example of the Numzaan boot split between premium and standard, which I'm going to now explain to you. To start, our standard Numzaan boot, how we originally came out with it, and what we've done here is now added 3 more colors to the range. So you're going to get our fudge, which those familiar with it, patina is really great. The Houston green, which patinas in a similar way to the fudge, and depending on how you treat these two leathers, it's going to age differently. With a suede cleaner, you're going to get that lighter, more mottled look, whereas with a product that contains a beeswax or a leather balm, you're going to darken it up a little bit. And then just for those who want something more formal for the office, we do have an all black version. To briefly run through the spec of these 3 boots, is that it comes with our ASHM last, which as we like to describe it is almond shaped. So still that good old Jim Green, slightly wider fit, just with a slightly more pointier toe. It then has a full leather midsole, so leather lasting board, leather midsole, and then it's finished off with our frog grip outsole, which is a nice, soft, comfortable sole that provides a really good amount of grip. So to clarify, these 3 will be under our premium section because they have the full leather midsole. Naturally, this comes with a slightly higher price tag. Now onto a slightly different variation to the Numzaan boot we've just chatted on, and that is what I like to refer to as a more work-orientated option. What we have done to make this more work-orientated is that we have taken inspiration and feedback from the Razorback boot and poured it onto the Numzaan. So what we have here is a pull loop to help get the boot on and off. The boot is still double lasted, so lined with a calfskin lining. We've then gone with our STC last, making it nice and wide fitting. It then has our polyester woven midsole, which is durable and lighter. And then we combine that with our new Tyre Wedge outsole, which is a nice soft rubber compound, but still gives you that grip and feel that you need on the work site. We've also gone with more work leathers on this boot. So we have our black Jim Green leather, and then the new Bronco leather that I've been wear testing on a boot we're calling the 719 over the past few months. So being a pull-up leather, you'll see just how nasty this leather ages and patinas with time. And I haven't polished or cleaned this yet, but if you wanted to darken it back to the original, an oil or leather balm will do the job. Or as we said with the fudge, you can just add a suede cleaner to keep this natural look. But it's a great pull-up option, and something with a bit more harder work is going to age really great. So I think we've got a great selection here of various types of Numzaan boots. So whether you're wanting something for the office, a little bit more formal, we have these. Whereas if you're wanting to test something out on the work site, you loved your Razorbacks but wanting something a little bit more different fitting and looking with a softer sole, then you've got the work version. While we're on the topic of work boots, we've then decided to add our AR8 boot in a slightly different spec. So our current AR8 has quite a firm sole, has our JG last, and we took inspiration from that, just like we did with the Razorback, and then converted it into a slightly different AR8 boot. So what we have here is 2 different color options, our Jim Green Brown and our Bronco once again. The boot is double lasted, so calfskin lining with the full grain upper. We then combine it all together with our polyester woven midsole, making it a little bit more lighter, but yet still durable. And then it all comes together with our Tyre Wedge. So between the 8-inch boot and the Numzaan boot, there's quite a nice selection of leathers and different looking options that you can test out. Onto our slip-on boots, the Stockman. Now we've been getting plenty emails of when we're restocking, and we've just been trying to find our feet to see what styles and variations work for us. So you'll see on our website, we have the Stockman with our JG sole and the JG last. Now what we're going to do is add a slightly more comfortable and different fitting option. So on the my right hand side here, we've got 3 new variations, and you're probably catching on to this trend now that we are slightly targeting and making boots more for the work environment. So the Stockman, we're coming out in 3 different colors: the JG Brown, the JG Black, and once again the Bronco Brown. We're running these boots on our STC last with the polyester woven midsole, so keeping it light but still durable, and then bringing it all together with our Tyre Wedge. We believe that this Tyre Wedge Sole, from the feedback that we're getting, is going to be great for the work site, and I think this is really a great option that we're adding to our slip-on selection. Now let's take a complete 180 from what we've just spoken on, and that is the Barefoot Stockman. Now through our custom boot builder, we've been getting quite a few requests to make this boot on the Barefoot spec. Now it's been something we've chatted about on how best to go about it, and what we've decided to do is actually run this boot in the Barefoot spec, but keeping it double lasted. Now many of the true barefoot enthusiasts would say this is not a true barefoot boot because there's quite a lot of leather on the top and it's double lasted, meaning that leather lasting board and the leather midsole. So you're standing on quite a bit of leather, reducing that flex and feel. But many of these boots that we've had out on test run, once that leather gets going and really breaks in, you get that flex that you would get on our standard barefoot boots. So it takes a bit of break-in. The pros of this is that with being double lasted, is going to be a lot more water resistant than just a single layer of leather. No steel shank on this boot. These work boots will obviously have the steel shank, and yeah, it's just something that you guys, depending on what you want on the work site or something just to kick around, 6 very nice boots that you can choose from. So on the Barefoot Stockman, we'll be offering 3 different colors: the fudge, the brown, and the black. We've gone with our Barefoot Last, which has the 0 drop. The biggest change here is obviously the double lasting, so full grain leather upper, calfskin lining. It then has the leather lasting board plus a leather midsole, so quite a bit of leather underfoot, resin runner, and then the anvil outsole. So a barefoot boot that's going to be pretty rugged, take a bit of break-in, but once it gets going, you're going to be very happy. Now onto our African Ranger and the 2 options that we're going to be running, both in Bronco Brown. Now you guys can probably tell by now we're quite excited about this leather, and rightfully so, as I've once again put my 719 boots on the table, and you can just see how much pull-up this leather actually has. Even from a distance, you can probably see the leather changing as I run my fingers through it. So the African Ranger, we're going to be offering in our standard spec: Bronco Brown upper, STC last, polyester woven midsole, single lasted, so unlined, and then our new Tyre Wedge Sole. Once again, targeting the more work environment with something a little bit more rugged, but yet the same upper feel you're going to have from our standard African Ranger. We're then going to be running it in our Barefoot spec, which is identical to all our other African Ranger barefoots. So the Barefoot Last, the full leather midsole, and the anvil outsole. So with some time and wear, I think you're going to get a great combination to get that patina that I've been getting over the past few weeks. While it's on the table, we'll just touch on the 719 boot. Now this is currently not on our website, and it's a collaboration between Cole Morawski and Jim Green. Reason it's not on the website is that we're working on one other very special leather to offer, which is going to be a rust veg retan, which some of you may have seen from a podcast and YouTube episode I did with Cole a couple of weeks ago. Now this boot is quite similar to the Numzaan boot with just a couple of changes. So obviously up front you can see that it's a complete upper change. We've gone with a tongue that's a little bit more subtle. It doesn't have the leather lining or built-in quilty on top of it. It has the genuine toe cap, and it's finished off with our frog grip outsole. So as I said to Cole, if there was one boot that he would design and put together, it would be a good old traditional service boot, and I've been really enjoying wearing these over the past couple of months. Onto our final pre-sale, and that is the African Trooper, which is a collaboration between Rose Anvil and Jim Green. We spent a number of months and many samples to bring this boot together, which is an inspiration from American design and South African manufacturing. So what we have here is our Barefoot Last, the leather midsole resin runner, and anvil outsole. Now the biggest thing about this boot is obviously the upper design, where we started with our AR8 boot and gradually changed it to better suit the Barefoot spec. Now Rose Anvil has a few videos up on his channel where he dives deep into how we came about this boot. We'll put links down below so you can head there and learn more about this. We are planning to deliver this boot in December, but working hard to try and get an early batch in for around middle of November. So that's quite a few boots. There is no way that we're going to be running all these styles forever. So if there's something that you see and you really like, it's best to grab it now as to avoid any disappointment down the line. What we're trying to do is create a boot for everyone, an option for everyone, a leather for everyone, and we are doing our best to try and put this all together. So thanks very much for those who are supporting the pre-sale. We know there's a long time to wait, but at the end of the day, you're still going to get a great boot. We do offer free returns, free exchanges, and always here to assist. So please, in the comment section below, let us know what you think about the new styles, any variations that you would have liked to have seen, and please hit the like button and comment, as that just helps and goes that extra mile for us.